Once again, good morning. My name is Tamara Stewart. I am the AVP of Grant Management. I work with the CHOICE program along with federal grants, and today we'll talk about MAOI compliance. The CHOICE program is a special program because this is the only program that we have that directly partners with tax credits and with the homeless housing agencies. Our objectives today: CHOICE MAOI Compliance is a one-time special virtual office hour session. So this will not come up again. The recording will be placed on our website, but this is an opportunity for us to look at documentation that you would need at MAOI properties. The audience is our MAOI property managers and developers. Special office hours usually last 30 minutes with 30 minutes of Q&A. Or as I mentioned, the recordings and the PowerPoints will be placed on our website. Additionally, we do have our CHOICE agencies on the line today, and you will be introduced to those representatives. First, we'll go over CHOICE, the purpose, eligibility, and agencies, and then we'll go into documentation. Some of this information will be information you received in the past. However, please let me know if something is unclear in our Q&A section. Let's dive on in. CHOICE. The MAOI property is, as I mentioned, targeted, works in partnership with the CHOICE program. The CHOICE program is a bridge to rental subsidy for persons who are unstably housed and diagnosed with a serious mental illness. So this is more of a target population, not just people who are disabled, but people who are disabled due to having a serious mental illness. We do know that people do have multiple diagnoses, but to be qualified through the CHOICE program, you must have SMI, which is serious mental illness. It provides permanent supportive housing to individuals with disabilities as community-based alternatives to and hospital placements. We are looking at a response to the Olmstead lawsuit. We're moving people from the traditional institutional settings, nursing homes, state psychiatric hospitals, and moving them into communities. And these are people who have been identified that they can live independently and want to live independently. CHOICE program eligibility. As I mentioned, provide rental assistance to people living with SMI, serious mental illness. The priority is one, you have to be diagnosed with a serious mental illness. That's been diagnosed, not self-diagnosed, but diagnosed by a qualified provider. And its priority is based on three. One, it actually should be 1, 2, 3, not 1, 1, 1. But one, you have been discharged from a psychiatric state hospital within the last 90 days, or a nursing home facility, or an intermediate care facility for individuals with intellectual disabilities after a stay of 90 days or more. That's our first priority. Those coming from state psychiatric hospitals, those coming from nursing home facilities, and those coming from homes for those with an intellectual disability. Our second priority are those who have been discharged from a state psychiatric hospital within the last 2 years. That means they've been discharged for 2 years and they probably are unstably housed and have hopefully connection with some community mental health agency. Our last priority is those who have lack of fixed, regular, adequate nighttime residence. This is not limited to only individuals who are homeless. As I see CHOICE definition, this includes those who are couch surfing, those who are in between housing, maybe living with a friend, sometimes with family. These are people who are unstably housed, but have a serious mental illness. Over the last 6 years with this program, we have seen a dramatic decrease of the number of people coming from state hospital, which is the purpose of this program. So most of the clients we were receiving now are actually category 2 and category 3, those who've been discharged in 2 years ago or so, and those who have been diagnosed with the SMI and are unstably housed. The CHOICE program helps provide the financial subsidy needed for these individuals to be stably housed and the wraparound support. CHOICE eligible costs is a wide range of eligible costs. It can pay for rental assistance. It pays for tenant portion is for 15% of their income, and the CHOICE program pays for the balance. If a person is employed and their rent is 30% or less of their gross income, at that point, you have enough finances to pay for your rent yourself, and CHOICE will not provide the subsidy. However, if someone do not have any income, zero income, or they are applying for Social Security or disability, CHOICE can pay for 100% of their rent. Other things that CHOICE can pay for is the application fee, the rent security deposit, rental arrears if needed for housing stability, utility deposit, utility arrears, and basic furniture. At this time, CHOICE do not pay for ongoing utilities, just utility arrears and deposits. And basic furniture, we're really looking at a bed, a couch, things that you need, think of your first apartment, the basic furniture you had there. That's about the things that CHOICE will be paying for. We do have a financial cap on furniture. Who are your agencies? We have moved from just working with 2 agencies to working with 4, and we'll talk more about that a little later. But our agencies provide services based on the region that they are located and the surrounding areas. Open Doors Homeless Coalition on the coast covers regions 14 and region 12, right there on the map. SAFE is actually located in Tupelo, Mississippi. They provide services to regions 2, region 3, and region 4. Community Counseling Services, also known as Recovery House. They're located in Columbus area. They cover regions 7, regions 10, and region 6. And Grace House, located in Jackson, covers regions 8, regions 9, and regions 15. And yes, the numbers do not go 1, 2, 3. There are several numbers missing. It was not a typo, but there are different. This is the map from Department of Mental Health and how they divide their coverage. Our agencies do have their health responsibilities for you and for the client. The agency is responsible for making a referral of eligible clients to MAOI properties. The agencies are also responsible to assist the client to select available units and also affordable. They contact the property, they schedule showings, they do inspection, they serve as that liaison, and they provide rental subsidies as needed in between. They also help with the lease signing process. If you worked with the CHOICE program before, you usually see the agency case manager on that first day to help the client sign their lease and go through the documentation. Now, once the person is housed, the agency continues to make contact. They will contact the individual every single month minimally. They make sure that the person stays inside the housing unit, they're paying their portion of the rent, and they're working towards goals for self-sufficiency. Let's get into the documentation. the MAOI program requires you to have a MOU with your agencies. Your MOU need to be between the property manager and the choice agency. If you have a MOU in your file as a with mute that expired the end of June, you will need a new MOU with the choice agency in your community. If you have an MOU with Open Doors Homeless Coalition, that will be accepted. However, as part of a MAOI provider, you must have an MOU with the agency. Other forms needed. The choice form. The choice form will help us determine that the person you have in a MAOI unit does meet the qualification for MAOI. This form right here must not be completed by the client themselves. It must be completed by a provider and signed by the provider or by the overseeing physician or clinician. If they do not or they are not able to sign off on this form, we will need proof of diagnosis. A copy of this form must be in client's file, as I mentioned. If you're collecting the verification of choice, you need a release of information. Choice program works with those who are disabled. Collecting this sensitive information, you will need a release of information on your file. If you do not have an agency release of information, we'll be happy to share with you all a sample release of information form. Before proceeding and collecting sensitive information from MAOI clients or choice clients, once again, you need to collect this form. Also, if you're not getting, you can get this release of information directly from the client, but it would be more efficient if you get it from the agency or you create one yourself. The MAOI property is responsible for undertaking continuing marketing for the property. We do expect you to work with the agencies to identify appropriate clients to fill vacancies, but you also have to conduct property efforts yourself. MAOI eligible applicants shall have preference over any individuals who are on a wait list. Maintaining property, make sure they are in compliance with the HQS inspection form. The choice agencies does the inspection. They come on site and they do a checklist to ensure that everything is in compliance. If a property does not pass the HQS housing quality standard inspection, the property manager will have opportunity to make changes as they need. The property manager is also responsible for letting us know when you have things that are available or when you have issues going on with your clients. You're also responsible for completing the HAP contract. This is a form that goes along with the lease as a compliance requirement. Executed lease. It's not the exact same thing. So I know a lot of people believe the HAP contract and the lease is the same thing. It's two different things. The HAP contract is required choice form that you can find on our website. The lease is mainly the MAOI property manager's form that's required. Finally, if you have issues in your property due to concerns for the client, we do require that you work with the Department of Mental Health crisis team. I have their contact numbers here, the mobile crisis team. Sometimes things happen. Before someone is moved into prison, I do prefer that y'all reach out to your local crisis team. There's one located in every region in the area. Our referral process. Beforehand, all of the referrals used to go between two entities. Now our referrals go mainly through one funnel agency. It's going to be Open Doors and Mississippi Home Corporation. Agencies can make referrals. So if you have clients in your properties that you feel that they meet the qualifications, you can make a referral to the choice program, get the documentation needed to qualify them and keep them in your MAOI unit. Additionally, referrals can and will be made directly to MAOI without the use of choice. Some of the clients that we have coming into the program who qualify based on their diagnosis may not need direct or long-term financial assistance. In 2023 program year, the CHOICE program housed 105 individuals. That's been a steady trend of decrease of housing that we had since 2020. I'm not including 2021 due to COVID, but we had a decrease in number of individuals housed over the last 3 years. We have noticed a decline, and Mississippi Home Corporation has worked diligently to change its processes. So we have moved from one agency serving 76 counties, which was mute in the past, and one agency serving the coast, which is just Open Doors, to 4 agencies strategically located throughout the state to work with each region and provide housing. The limited housing numbers does not reflect a lack of need, okay? All because only 105 individuals were housed doesn't mean there's not a need for this program. Last year, as I mentioned, we had 10% of individuals housed with MAOI property out of the 105. However, in the last 2 months alone, we had 50 qualified individuals referred to the program. So if we continue to work the program through this new process, I do not think it will be an issue to fill all 400 MAOI units with qualified CHOICE tenants. Any questions? Before we move into the question and answer, I'm going to go ahead and start introducing y'all to some of the faces y'all will see as we move through this new process. I don't know if I can't share my camera with you, but as I call your name, if you don't mind opening up your camera and introducing yourself. Dana Whitman works with Open Doors Homeless Coalition. She and her team will be leading this project. They are our funnel when it comes to referrals. Dana, do you mind introducing yourself?
Good morning, everyone. As Tamara said, my name is Dina Whitman. I'm the Executive Director of Open Doors Homeless Coalition. We serve the lower 24 counties in the state with the CHOICE program. And also, as Tamara said, we are the recipient of the referrals, at least the final recipient, as we enter all the potential clients' data into one database that we then refer out to the other partner agencies in the regions that the clients live in. So I'll give my phone number to anyone on the line who may have questions, and Tamara can send out my email address. But my phone number is 228-547-1585. And I've spoken with some of you already. I've gotten one new MOU, and I look forward to hearing from each of you that had MOUs with mute and getting those redone as of July 1st of this year. And then we can talk about some separate MOUs you may want to have with the agencies in the regions where your developments are. Thank you.
Hey, Stacy Howard and Nikita's on the line from Grace House. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Hi, I'm Stacy. I am the Executive Director of Grace House, and as you can see on the screen, we are covering regions 8, 9, and 15.
Great. Do we have Amy here from Recovery House? Is Recovery House on the line today? Right, we have Dana Wilder from SAFE. Dana?
Wilder.
Safe, I see you're on the line. Can you introduce yourself? Okay, Safe, I think you're having problems with your mic, but Safe covers the northern area and Recovery House cover the central. All right, time for Q&A. Any questions? No questions about referrals or documentation processes? Any questions on where you should get clients from? Well, when there's no questions, it could be two things. One, you didn't understand anything I said, or two, I did an awesome job. So one of the two is happening right now. Regardless, this information will be available on our website. As I mentioned, 30 minutes of this content is presentation, 30 minutes for Q&A if you have no Q&A. Our agencies will be working with y'all. We do prioritize, just like y'all, we prioritize MAOI properties. So you probably be the first one on their list to contact. Continue to work with them. They are good people. If you all are having problems with identifying or locating someone to fill your property, maybe you're in an area that we have not really provided services in, please let me know. And I'm going to go back to that area because, as you can see, a lot of counties that your property are located in might not be listed here, or you might not have a lot identified as placed. So if you're having difficulties with that, just let me know, and I'll let you, I'll connect you, or you can connect yourself directly to the agency, or I can also provide you some content on where we have the most referrals, because we can provide that information. With that being said, once again, thank you for your time. My contact information is here. Sharonda Chapman, she also works with me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us directly. If you have compliance questions, please reach out to the compliance department. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.